Pickdogs.com. I almost said sportschatplace.com. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. All the same to me. But of course, it's Saturday, February 25th, 2023. It's our last Saturday show before March. And that means March Madness, February, the shortest month of the year, because God wants March Madness to happen fast. And of course, it is kind of a big showdown Saturday today. Of course, next weekend we'll have more showdown games in some of the bigger conferences. Conference tournaments start this week. We'll start saying teams, that are already in the dance by next Sunday. We'll have teams that will have sealed their place in the NCAA tournament. So this is the exciting time of the year and a great time to jump on with our premium cappers. And we've got a good lineup of cappers for you today. And to go with today's great slate of games, we're going to bring in Al McMordie first, because we know on the weekends he doesn't sleep. He's up all night. So he has been up all night, is my guess. He's been in a good mood talking about some of his other things that he has going on and some of his other associates. But it's always fun to get people that are tired going.
I would say I'm in an ornery mood.
When people are tired, it's always good time to bring up uncomfortable subjects. But anyways, Al, how's it going?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's been about 14 or 15 hours I've been working straight. So, one of those days. But I like the card today. I think it'll be a good day. And I want to talk about the NBA game between Memphis and Denver.
All right.
We got
NBA, we got college, so got plenty to choose from. But go ahead.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, they did everything but win. The other night against Philadelphia 76ers, they lost by 5. If you had Memphis in that game plus the 3.5 points, just stay away from, tall buildings and sharp knives, because, Memphis did everything but cover the spread in that game. But they did lose. Now they're going to seek to avenge a 14-point loss to the Denver Nuggets earlier in the season. Denver, of course, comes into this game off an upset win at Cleveland. The Nuggets, though, they're 57-90 ATS on the road if they're off a point spread win, including 31-58 ATS if their opponent is off a loss. So that doesn't bode well for Denver here. And then Memphis is a spectacular 26-2 in the regular season ATS at home if they were playing with revenge and they were not favored by 3 or more points, and their opponent was off a straight up win. And right now the line's either 2 or 2.5. So it fits that 26-2 ATS angle. So I'm going to take the revenge minded Grizzlies minus the 2 or 2.5 on this Saturday.
I had the Sixers the other night against the Grizzlies, and it was awesome. It was one of those ones where it's like I've had so many that go the other way. I had UCLA against Utah where they called the foul with 3.7 seconds left to go. So I had that one, but the same night I had the Sixers in that one, and Joel Embiid with the steal to seal the cover at the end of the game because Memphis was trying like crazy to get the back door after they'd given up that lead.
Those are the fun ones when you cover the spread for 1 second of the game.
Well, that's why they call it a no doubter,
right?
I just think that I like the Nuggets a lot this season. I really like what they're doing. I like that we've gotten a lot of value on them too. So I struggle with this game because the Grizz, they came out, they were shooting so well in that game. And I know you don't look at a lot of that stuff, and what at the games you have your own formulas and systems. I'm a game watcher, so it's like I kind of have to walk through it. And they're really hitting those threes early, and that's how they got out to that big lead. Boy, but the Nuggets are just so tough. It's just a tough game for me. This is one I say I'm a fan, and I'm gonna watch it. But I could see, obviously not a premium pick for you. And I could certainly make an argument either way, but those Nuggets, man, are they tough.
They are, but they're also kind of pedestrian on the road, at least ATS.
Tell that to the Cavaliers.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was a nice win at Cleveland. But, I think what is Denver? I still think they're 50-50 ATS on the road this year. So
I see it. You can see the angle, and especially the Grizz, sometimes when teams lose the heartbreakers like that, they come back and they're more dialed in and less likely to give up that big lead the next time.
Yeah,
so I could certainly see it.
Yeah, well, it's a great game tonight. So
It is. It is a good one, and I think we're at that time of the season where the trade deadline's passed. You're going to see the better teams rise to the top, and you're going to see teams like I mean, I'm not even sure if the Brooklyn Nets, they really did get off the bus last night, against the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls are probably in a decent situation with six Suets losses in a row, so Bulls are ready to play. And also, in 3 of those 6 games in their 6-game losing streak going into that game, DeRozan was out, so that was I thought that. I mean, I didn't use it, but I thought that was a decent spot for the Bulls.
But anyways, what else you have going on today?
Well, you mean for free play here or for sale?
Either way, whatever you like.
The one, it's just not there. The game I was looking at in college, if I could have gotten the number I wanted, was West Virginia plus 10.5 or more against Kansas. It's starting to see it at 10. There's some 9.5s and 10s now, but I won't touch it unless I can get 10.5. But if it does hit 10.5, keep an eye on it. I think the game starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. I would take West Virginia plus 10.5 or higher.
All right. Well, there's your Michigan Wolverines have a big game tomorrow. They're kind of trying to make a run at the NCAA tournament. We can talk about it then.
Couldn't care less.
Well, Hunter Dickinson, it'll be senior day for him. It'll be their last home game tomorrow against Wisconsin. Revenge also.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
A lot of factors there. But anyways, what do you got for sale today? Normally Saturdays you've had some loaded cards.
Yeah,
funny, the other day you put in like just a couple of picks, and someone had just bought your weekly package. They sent me the email like, Al only put in like 2 picks. It was Monday. It was like last Monday or something.
I've got 16 today, including my first XFL play of the young season. I'll have an XFL play also tomorrow and Sunday. I've got 4 plays in the NBA, and I've got 11. I think it's 11. Yeah, 11 plays in college, including a conference game of the year. I'm going for my 9th straight conference game of the year winner. Last Saturday, I won the SWAC game of the year on Texas Southern and the ACC game of the year on Virginia Tech. So that was 8 in a row last Saturday. Now I go for 9 in a row today on this Saturday.
All right. Well, if you can win today on the XFL, you will be the number 1 XFL handicapper on the website.
I will be the number 1, even if I lose, right?
Yes, regardless.
The only XFL handicapper on the
top
website.
XFL handicapper.
So I'll be number 1, win or lose. Good, I'll take it.
I really hope one day one of these football leagues actually sticks and becomes like a really,
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see an XFL USFL merger in a couple of years. It'll be the USXFL.
Maybe that would do it, but I don't know. It just seems that they can't get the timing right. They can't get it,
I mean, it's just because it's shit football.
You think that is the watered down quarterback play?
I just think it's just shit foottle,
You think when Trey Lance starts in the XFL next year that it's going to be a little more exciting for them?
They need to go back to that. The names on the back of the jersey where it was like, he hate me.
Yeah, that was the best.
Right? That's what they need to do. They need to have like the names on the jerseys that just, kind of create interest of these stupid nicknames or whatever. And then maybe people would care, but it's,
Oh, the Nuggets are also on the first side of a back-to-back tonight in that earlier pick as well. I just realized that.
Yeah. Well, good luck today, Mitch.
Good luck as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Big Al McMordie's had a heck of a start to the year. Had a little bit of a slow January, but man, he had a few weeks in February that kind of made it all come together. Up next, we've got bringing Wayne. Wayne, how's it going?
What's going on, Mitch?
Nothing. It's just a couple of games going on today, Saturday. It's
just a couple.
Yeah, it's the last big schedule of the season. We saw the Sun Belt title decided last night with Southern Miss taking advantage of the Marshall loss at Old Dominion. And, we have a few other games today and this week where it's, the games are winding down, like, in the West Coast Conference, St. Mary's Gonzaga, this ends the season for St. Mary's. Gonzaga still has another game on the schedule, so they might be looking ahead to that Chicago State game. Caught looking ahead at that Chicago State.
I don't think they got much to worry about there.
Well, what do you got going on today? I trashed High Point for you on the drive-through the other day, and then they end up winning the game. So
it was funny. That was one of my premiums that day, and that was my only loss. But I'll tell you, I still felt like I was on the right side, even with that loss. So I wasn't mad at it.
That happens a lot of, that's part of sports betting. It's like you could have a pick where the team would win 9 out of the 10 times that they play, and it's just you're on that one time, and just nature of the beast.
Well, I'm gonna go to the MAC, and we got a 5:00 game where Kent State versus Bowling Green. I've been fading this Bowling Green team for a while. It's Kent State team. They played them already. They beat them on their home court, 87-64. This Bowling Green team, good Lord, in the last 10 games, they only won 2 of 8. They've lost 8 straight. They're not good at home. They're 6-8 at home. Besides that, man, just watching them, they only got 1 true score. So they can't score consistently, and they can't stop a soul. They got close to 100 hung on them about 3 to 4 times this season, just to tell you how bad they are defensively. And I don't see them having a chance to just even slow Kent State up here. It wasn't a premium. I was hoping, because they're on the road, I was hoping to get a more of a 9 number, but I definitely understand it at the 10.5, 11 mark. And I think they come in there and can get about a 15-point win in this one. So I like Kent State minus the 10.5.
Yeah, the MAC is a 1-bid conference, and there's been years where I felt the MAC should get multiple bids, but they don't care what I think. It's going to be a 1-bid conference once again. I think Toledo, you have Akron, and Kent State are all good teams that could probably give teams fits. We've seen MAC teams, I think, generally isn't there like something going on, like where we'll have to ask Romanelli, where they've won a first round game like 8 of the last 10 years or something crazy like that. So for the MAC teams, it's not just about getting to the tournament. They actually make some noise when they get there.
Yeah, they built well, coach well, and they play a lot of good out-of-conference teams. So they definitely set up to get a good win if they get to the tournament.
We got Jovan just got into the green room. He's on the wrong show. He thinks he's in the drive-through. He's in the car. I'll have to bring him in next. But anyways, you got anything else for us today?
Really one more in that conference. It just missed the premium, and it kind of falls in the same category. It's just the end of the season, man. You got to take advantage of these teams that are just been rolling against these teams that kind of just calling it quits and waiting for the season to be over. And for 3:00 start game, I like Ball State to cover against Eastern Michigan, another road team with a big number, but I don't think Eastern Michigan is going to come out to play in this one. I like for Ball State to cover that one. So that's it for that one. And NBA, I'm going to be on the show with Jay. I think Jay's going to have a live show today, so I'm going to save a couple picks for that.
All right. It just seems that Eastern Michigan, I expected more of them. Romanelli said, not that I shouldn't expect more of them, but basically I thought they were going to be a little bit better than what they've been this season. I thought they had the guy, they're the best player in the conference. So when you have that, it's always a good thing to have in the lesser conferences, but some of these other teams have just been too much for them. So I could see it.
I definitely agree with you there. I was one of the ones that was pretty high on Eastern Michigan too, but they just don't play well together as a team. Sometimes you can have a lot of individual good players, but if they don't mesh well, it really don't matter about that. You gotta come together and play together as a team, and they don't do a good job of that. A lot of depending on 2 players and a lot of ISO ball, so it's not going to get the job done when you got solid teams that play well around everywhere, rebounding, defense, offense. They give Eastern Michigan fits. So
yeah, they hate me. It's okay. What do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
Hey man, I got a lot going on at Pick Dogs. I got a lot going on and off of Pick Dogs. I got my hiney exposed today on these books. A lot of money out there, so I'm hoping the books kiss my ass. I mean, and don't kick my ass today. Excuse the language. But as far as the site, what's up, Mitch?
No, go ahead.
As far as the site goes, I got an early 3-pack. My 3 bets that I love on my 12 o'clock slate, so I'm hoping to cash them early. And I got a 5-pack between the 2 and the 6 o'clock time slot. So I got loaded college for y'all. I only got 2 NBAs today, but I got my best bet in the NBA out there. My game of the day. So you guys go check that out. And for my long-term people, you guys see that, man. I got a boxing coming. And just a lot of action today, so I'm ready.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you actually this afternoon. What time are you guys going, you and Jay, on the
Jay said he was going to probably do it closer to 3, around 3. I want to say it was 3 o'clock start time, but with it being the weekend, he never really confirmed it yet, but I believe it is 3.
Well, do you have a premium on the Raptors Pistons? Because that game's, you guys are going to miss that one.
I do.
Oh, you do.
I got 2. Yeah.
All right.
I do.
Well, if you want Wayne's pick on the Raptors, I tried, guys. I tried to squeeze it. I tried to squeeze it out for you guys.
That was actually my last game I put in. It was enough for me to find a good side on that one. So yeah, like Mitch said, man, go pick it up so you can get you an early winner on this NBA slate.
All right. Well, thanks, Wayne, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You guys take care, Pick Dog family. All right, Mitch.
That was Wayne Scott. Of course, winner of our Become a Capper contest, but that's already in the rearview mirror. Wayne becoming fitting right in, as we knew he would. So I think Wayne it'll be fun when we do our next Capper contest next year, and Wayne's able to talk to everybody and say what it was like when he first came on, because Wayne, like some guys like Jovan, who's coming on next, start right out of the gate, man, on fire. Other guys, they come on, it's like a little bit slow because they're almost tentative to play their own game. But Wayne was a little bit tentative at first, and he was like, "Oh, if you don't want me to be on the site," I'm like, "You're gonna be awesome, man. It's just you gotta find your way, man. It's like you gotta stop worrying about what other people are thinking, and then just continue and go back to doing what you did that won." And that's what it's happening, and you can kind of see it with his record and the standings. And on my 7 free picks, been putting up the daily standings up there, and we've seen Wayne's name up there a bunch. So, anyways, we got Jovan. He's driving through on the show today. He's got he's at least he's here. He's in the car. I know he had some power problems on the computer, so I'm going to guess this might have something to do with that, but it doesn't matter. Welcome to the show, Jovan.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it absolutely does. Trying to get it fixed, but I need to figure out what the problem is before I proceed. Yeah, whether I got to get a new laptop or just a new power source charger or whatever. So
sometimes it's just the battery on the computer,
Yeah, exactly. So I got to figure that out, and once I figure that out, which will be today, later on, then I'll know how to proceed. It's just,
all right.
It's messing up the parlay videos also. So if you haven't seen me, that's the reason why.
We'll have those back though, and there's still plenty more parlays to go. I mean, Jovan does them all year round: football, baseball, basketball. Not hockey, but
yeah. I kind of said on a couple drive-throughs ago. I might have to show my flex my muscles in hockey too. I do across the board, but as far as like that's just degenerate gambling on hockey. I'm not gonna do a whole analysis or breakdown on hockey, but I might throw out a little parlay in on the ice.
I do it. I do the Mitchie Pucks plays. So it's a lot of it is just numbers. It seems to hockey seems to play to the numbers the less you look into it. And sometimes that stuff works against you. And I think, I see it so many times in the other sports that I follow, and watch all the games where it's like it just ends up working against me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
What do you got going on today?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Big 12, where K-State's facing Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State, they're on the fritz right now. Loses a 3 straight. No, but those are against a hell of a competition, and West Virginia, TCU, and KU, Kansas. So you can't really fault them for losing those games. But they need to get into gear because they're 6-12 this season, and yeah, that's bubble material. Even though they're in the Big 12, they might be on the wrong side of the bubble. But I think being at home, and being a competitive bunch defensively, especially going up against the K-State team, who they're still good, but on the road they're a different team, not so good. 3-6 straight up, so they do have an advantage there. And just as far as our ATS trends, they're 5 and well, the home team in this series is 4-1 against the spread. So, that's one of the things I like to look at, how how teams match up against each other in the last 10, last 5, maybe a little bit more spread out, even though that's more relevant, to me, especially when these teams play twice a year. It really doesn't matter what they did 10 years ago, as opposed to, like, let's say a 3 to 4 year window, but yeah, and also with K-State, they're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 home games versus a team with the losing road record. So, things kind of fit into place with the Cowboys getting it done in this one and getting off the schneid.
Yeah, the Cowboys have the big man up front, but the thing is that the other guys up front are also big, but they actually can shoot, and that's kind of what makes them special and pretty dangerous. Kind of like the Raptors. It's like where they just have all these big guys up front, and a bunch of them can actually shoot as well. And so you can't foul them and send them to the line because they'll roast you there. And we've seen it. The Big 12 is so competitive, and it's seen as the best conference in America right now, and I do believe that it is. And it just goes to show you, I think if Kansas State was in some of these other conferences, like in the Big Ten, they'd probably be, be in a much different position. We've seen them beat Kansas this year, and we've seen them do a lot of things. I just think that, this is just one of those things that you just got to say it's a bad spot on a bad day. It's getting late in the season, and this is when those road games just get tougher and tougher.
Right. Tourney time, senior day, it's just, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that this one's a senior day scenario, but
it's close. I think it's 2 more, right?
Right. There's a lot of teams that that it falls into place, and you've seen it earlier this week where the senior day situation or the senior day scenario, it kind of turns things on its head. So you when it gets close to March, there's a lot of things in play that doesn't happen, even that hasn't happened even a couple weeks ago.
I think we're going to see over time is the image licensing, keeping players here longer. That things might change a little bit, but generally, a lot of these teams, they start over again every year, and that's the transfer portal also. And then so it takes a little while playing together. So a lot of teams, they should be peaking now. So they're just different teams than what we saw a few months ago. That's what always made Kentucky a little bit different under Calipari, but this year. It's still the jury's still out. It's like I thought they would start a little faster with the guys that they had, but it actually just seems that they're playing right to the same script that they always do.
Yeah. And the thing about Calipari, since he's been at Kentucky, when he was with UMass, it was a different story. He had a bunch of guys, overachievers, and basically, the underdogs. The underdog of underdogs, if you say from 92 to 96 or 91 to 96, and during his run then. But since he's been with Kentucky, it's been a scenario where they get the one and dones, then they get more one and dones, blue chip All-Americans, every year this is a turnover, and it creates from the beginning of the season to the middle of conference play, they're just getting into form. And then by mid-February, like clockwork, they're there. You know what I mean? So, last couple seasons they've had down seasons. Last year was a decent season, but this year it looks like they were slow. They came out the gate slow, and then all of a sudden now this looks like they're picking up.
They always have a ton of talent, that's for sure.
Exactly.
You got another pick, or are you just
No, I don't have another pick, but if you want to ask me a question about whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I don't know if you got premium. I don't know what you got premiums on, so I don't want to step on anything there. How about Gonzaga, St. Mary's? You have a premium on that?
I don't, and I'm not gonna have a premium on there. That's a tough one. I was on St. Mary's the first go around, for the upset, and I think in this one, the cases can be made on both sides. It's at 5.5. It's kind of a short number if you ask me, considering who these two teams have always been versus each other. You usually see when Gonzaga's at home, you usually see like a good 11, 12, 13 point spread against St. Mary's at home. So I don't know, you could use the revenge angle, but then again, do you really want to go against St. Mary's? I think in this one, the better play when it's all said and done would be to take the over, even though St. Mary's brings defense to the forefront. So I would lean to the over in that one.
Yeah, St. Mary's, it seemed like Gonzaga was winning most of the way in that first game, and St. Mary's kind of got him at the end, got it to overtime, and then they let the crowd get into it. But we've seen this Gonzaga crowd in these big games, and it's like, I remember when Texas went in there last year with Chris Beard, and I mean, they just jacked him up. I mean, there was nothing that Texas could have played the game of their life. They had no chance, Right. It was like, and I have a feeling that it could be something like that tonight. It's going to be definitely interesting, and it's it's one of those scenarios where you got a late night game that kind of it's worth staying up for if you're on the East Coast. But what do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
Yeah, right now I only have a 3-pack up on three of the earlier games. I will have a 5-pack up, and in all, I will have 12 college basketball plays up. NBA, I might have one play, maybe 2 plays. I just got to see about in the injury report. That's really key. I got burned yesterday on the Miami Heat. Not knowing Giannis was listed as doubtful, but I should have taken a step back on that one and realized that Giannis isn't one of these guys. He's not one of these regular NBA players. If he's hurt, he's still gonna play more likely. And I should have took heed to that. But I saw the doubtful and I ran with that, and it bit me in the ass basically.
Yeah, they've been the Bucks have just been so hot. I mean, they got a big game tomorrow, and as well. So, yeah, we got a good NBA card tomorrow too. It's kind of all day.
Yeah, I mean
9 games.
Yeah, and you don't really see Sundays like that in the NBA where it's 9 games and some of the matchups that we're gonna
I like the early starts. Like today, there's a 12 o'clock start for the Raptors and Pistons, and then tomorrow the Bucks Suns is at 1 o'clock. You got the Hawks Nets at 3, the Bulls Wiz at 3:30, the Lakers Mavericks at 3:30. So you kind of have this all day NBA thing going on, and the Kings Thunder with Warriors Timberwolves. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern time, Nuggets Clippers. So basically, my whole day is shot, right? It's like this is the day, it's like I'm not leaving the house.
That's different from a normal NBA Sunday because what you'll have is, maybe a 3:30 game, maybe a matinee 12 o'clock game, one game, whatever. Then you'll have 6 o'clock games, and then maybe like one 8 o'clock game or something like that. But it's usually early evening. Basketball for the NBA and on a Sunday. So it's a change of pace.
It's kind of like what Major League Baseball has done. They just push everything to the night games into prime time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully back in your normal place. If not, we'll see you back in the car driving on through. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you doing whatever it takes to be here.
Hey, I'm here for it. You know that.
All right. Takes a lot more than a broken computer to keep Jovan off the show. I mean, I think a lot of people that want to be handicappers or want to be part of this business that, email me or, Big Al or any of these things. I mean, it's easy to take a day off. I mean, all you got to do is be on the wrong side of a bad beat where the guy, throws in a meaningless 3-pointer, to beat you at the end of the game, or bad call, a foul with less than a second left to go in the game. They give the guy 2 shots, to beat you. Easy to call in sick the next day and come up with an excuse not to put picks. A lot harder to just keep showing up and, doing what you do. You take your lumps some days, other days, it's like, feels like you can't lose, but that's the nature of the beast. Let's see who else we got here. Al Ninos has got his mic fixed or no? Find out.
Yep,
all right.
Good to go.
Al, what's happening? You've been busy, man, these days doing these parlay videos with Wayne, and then you were on Jay Briggs's afternoon jam session yesterday as well. So, how was that? Jay
was
just
fun.
started the show, and his regular videos wildly popular, and I know his afternoon jam session. He's done 2 of them, and he's had really good viewership on both. So,
Yeah, it was tough. I definitely really enjoyed doing it with Jay. It was a lot of fun, but and we even talked about it. It wasn't the easiest NBA card on the board, that's for sure. And we had a couple late injury news. Unfortunately, that I was on the wrong side of the 2 biggest late additions.
But the one thing when I was I watched the show, right? I wasn't like, I don't like sit there and say, hey guys, I'm watching or whatever, but I was watching. And you said, hey, the line now in the Bucks game is up to 4. Giannis is playing, right? So it's like, that's why we have that show.
Yeah,
that was exactly why we do that show, is because now people can have the updates, because we get a lot of questions from people. Why do you do the videos so early? And it's like, this way you can reach more people, kind of get our first look. Then we have that live show. Now we've added this afternoon live show. And this is also something we'll be able to do, with other sports. Originally, Ron's Rundown was supposed to be an afternoon baseball show. And I'm the one that made that, that said, hey, why don't you try doing this? But it doesn't mean that it's off the table, for
hey, maybe Ron can do 2 shows. I
think a baseball show might be one of those things where we might have to rotate some people in and rotate some crews, because it's just a long season. I mean, it is a big commitment, and it's kind of like, it's also the lightest time of the year for us as handicappers, and I kind of like to give everybody some time to, sit in the hot tub and do whatever it is they do.
I love my baseball. It's one of the main reasons that got me here. And, if you ever need help with that, definitely more than willing to help on those as well. So I definitely like to keep myself busy during the baseball season. That's for sure.
Well, what do you got cooking for today?
I'm going to look at an NBA and a hockey game. So do we leave the best for last, or you want to start with the NBA?
Go either way.
Okay. I think we did, I don't know what we did last time. But I'll look at the NBA first. I'm going to look at the Jazz here. They're hosting the Spurs. So big number for them to be laying, and probably rightfully so. They haven't been playing their best basketball necessarily, but they are going out against probably the worst team in the league. That being said, it's still a pretty big number. I don't really like laying double digits. I don't really care who's playing. Any team can really cover a double-digit spread on any given night. And but I do like the Jazz to come out to a hot start, and I definitely like the number we're getting in the first quarter better. So I'm looking at the Jazz minus the 3.5 in the first quarter. I think, they definitely need to at least get to a good start here the way they've been playing, and this is the team to do it against.
Yeah, you see some of the Spurs scores this season, and it has been you've seen some just gigantic scores against them, and the Rockets have both given up, I mean, crazy numbers. And so I could see the Jazz jumping out in this one. They don't play much defense either, so it's gonna have to be they're gonna have to just really pour it on in order to cover it. What is the number?
In the first quarter?
Yes.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah, I like it as well.
Again, would have obviously rather had 3. Obviously, any better number would have rather had it. But again, I don't mind. It's a game I think they should win comfortably. As you said, the Spurs just getting blown out. And I used to like backing these big numbers, but again, being more careful with them, especially with these teams you mentioned, the Rockets, the Spurs, teams that are tanking. It's just getting harder and harder to back them as the season winds down.
The Spurs gave up, 137 earlier to the Sixers, 138 to the Pistons, 125 to the Hawks. So certainly not out of their wheelhouse to give up a big number here against the Jazz in Utah. Who else? What else do you got going on today?
Well, there was one prop we left off the morning show I really liked, just based off the matchup. We have another prop in that game, but I like Jokic to have a big game tonight. I think he gets us another triple-double. He's been averaging a triple-double all season, going up against the Grizzlies team that just hasn't been the same without Steven Adams. And I think he just goes in, plays some bully ball down low, which also forced them to double team him and whatnot, where he'll kick the ball back out to some pretty good shooters that should give him some assists as well. And again, going up against a team without their starting center, should grab plenty of boards for us tonight as well.
Yeah, it's one of the weird stats this season where triple-double actually hits the betting tools on like a regular basis. It's like you just don't see that, for any other player out there. And, it just shows just how good this guy actually is.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, it's a very you just don't see guys averaging triple doubles. I mean, I don't care who you are, what position you're playing, and it's amazing stuff. And
70% of the time in his last 10 games, he's recorded a triple double. You're getting negative odds, minus 106 on a triple double. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy.
It was plus 25 when we were looking at it last night.
Yeah, minus 106 now for a triple double. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was making a case for this to be our dog prop to agree on last night, but we went with a different one. But I still like it nonetheless. And minus one, obviously, would rather get the plus 125 on it. But I still think it's I'd rather bet yes than no on that one. That's for sure, especially with this matchup.
What do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Oh, I did have a hockey pick, but
go ahead with the hockey. I didn't realize you had 3 picks.
Yeah, no, I just thought I'd throw that prop in. Sorry,
go ahead. Let's hear the hockey
not to. I like the Rangers here. They've been struggling, which is why it's not a premium play. But they haven't been struggling as bad as the Capitals, who've been without Ovechkin for a while, but he's been back, and they just lost to the Ducks, probably the worst team in the league. So really rough for our stretch here for the Capitals, and I think the Rangers bounce back in this spot. So going Rangers. The money line's getting up there now, so laying a little bit on the puck line as well.
Let me take a quick look at this. I don't really generally look at the hockey cards, but I will take a look as well. So Rangers. Yep, I think you lay the puck line here on the Rangers personally. They've been straight money, 66% or better puck line on the road covering. Why not? Against a Capitals team that is about 30% at home covering the puck line. Gotta like your chances.
Not looking like the same Capitals lately, but yeah. So yeah, I like my chances there, as you said.
The Capitals. All right, Al. Thanks. What do you got for sale, Pick Dogs?
Got three pack in. Got a mixed 3-pack. 2 NBA, 1 NHL. I got a 3-pack in the NHL. A couple plays that were really close in college basketball, but I didn't pull the trigger on them, and I'm probably going to be kicking myself at the end of the day for it. But yeah, NBA.
Well, maybe we'll see that video on TikTok. Kicking yourself.
That'd be a good one. People like to watch that kind of stuff, I think.
We do. This is what we do. All right, Al. Thanks for joining us. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, have a good one, Mitch.
Al Ninos. Got Ron Romanelli up next, of course, of rundown fame, busting up parlays across the world. Other days, this guy never loses a game. Kind of runs the game every 5 days. Like, how's it going, Ron?
It's going good, Mitch. Can't complain. got a nice card of college hoops on deck.
Yep, we had a slow January, but February emerged on the leaderboards pretty much across the board. I believe the last 30 days are the top dog these days. So you don't win every game every day or that, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's for sure. And you seem to be dialed in, especially on the college hoops.
Yeah, it's been a good month so far, and a couple of days on the bank shot breakdown, losing days, but we're ready to bounce back. We show up every day, ready to go.
All right. Well, what do you got cooking for everyone today?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to talk about Missouri and Georgia, and I know you know that I'm not a big fan of Mike White and Georgia this season. I faded him as many times as I could, but actually I do like Georgia in this spot. I think it's interesting when you look at the way that this team plays in their home and road splits. The last two games for Georgia, 108-59 blowout loss to Alabama, 97-65 blowout loss to Arkansas. Both of those games on the road. The previous games to those were both at home, and they were both wins over LSU and a solid Kentucky team in that upset victory. They played a competitive game at home against Ole Miss. They played a competitive game against Vanderbilt at home, lost those games by very short margins. They beat South Carolina. They beat Mississippi State. They beat Auburn at home. On the road, they get blown out to teams like Bama and Arkansas and Auburn, but this team just plays a lot better on their home court. I think they have some statistical advantages as well. I like the fact that Georgia's a good offensive rebounding team. They should be active on the offensive glass in this game as well. Missouri, 362nd in the nation, so the second worst team in Division I college hoops in defensive rebounding. So, Georgia team is not necessarily the best shooting team. At least they're going to be getting those second chance, maybe even third chance looks each trip down the court. I also like the fact that Georgia gets to the free throw line a lot. And, Missouri's had issues taking quite a few fouls defensively. Overall, this Missouri defense has not been great this season, especially when they're playing on the road. They have quite a few road losses in conference play. So to me, I think this matchup benefits Georgia quite a bit when they're playing at home. So I'm going to take the Bulldogs. I think they cover this number, but I think they win the game as well.
I think that this was a game that, I kind of went back and forth on myself. I couldn't get to one side or the other, really. I could see the cases for Georgia. They've played tough in spots. They're at home here. Missouri, we've seen them, their numbers certainly don't suggest that they're going to be good. And some of the wins that they've gotten have been kind of head scratchers that they were able to get it done. But they do have a really good coach, and I think that is they have a big, I think a gigantic edge with Gates in this one over White, but does he have the tools to get? I think both these teams clearly works in progress. I kind of like the work in progress over at Missouri for the longer term. I'm probably with you on Georgia here. I could probably be talked, one way or the other, but I do like Gates a lot at Missouri, and I think the best is in front of them. While Georgia, it could just be the same crap that we've seen for quite some time at this point, getting some quality players, in through the system, Edwards and, Caldwell Pope, but, nothing really to show for it.
Yeah. I think in the long term, Georgia's in trouble with Mike White. My opinion on him, but yeah, I think he has enough in this one to grab a win.
The court in Georgia, when you watch it on TV and when you see pictures of it, it always seems to have a weird lighting, right? It's like a off lighting. I don't know what it is there, but it's like the lighting just seems to be off. Like at Vandy, the lighting seems to be off and the floor is off, right? We know that at Vandy. But the thing is that, at Georgia, it just looks like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the color of the floor is different. I'm not really sure. I can't ever put my finger on it, but it always looks like just doesn't look like the rest of the world. Even the ones with even places like Oakland and Oregon that have odd courts, and TCU, that have the odd courts. They still, it's not like the lighting just looks totally off like at Georgia, where it's like they think maybe if we save big bucks on lighting here, we could spend it on our football program or something. Not really sure what they're thinking, but
Georgia's traditionally been just really good at home. Last year they won 6 games. All of them were at home, and a couple of them against good teams like Memphis and Bama. So they've traditionally had a really good home court advantage, and it could have to deal with something like that, like you're talking about.
Yeah, I just think I think it's going to be a good game, But I think that Missouri has some issues on defense, but I don't know. I like Gates. I like Gates, so I'm a Gates guy. Anything else for today?
Nope, just the one free play. But as far as premiums go, I got my $15 bank shot best bet. Also got a early winner for a game that starts at 12 o'clock Eastern. Really liking that play. And then I got a blowout winner later on tonight, a double-digit favorite that I think is going to just blow them out, earn a big win and cover. So those are my 3 plays in college hoops on the premium side. Doing really well. Number 1 in the last 30 days. Just looking to keep rolling.
You got to figure Gates is going to build a monster there. He won at Cleveland State.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed emotions or mixed feelings on Dennis Gates. We'll see.
Right.
It's a little too volatile for me. I don't like how there's zero defense.
But that's what they play. It's been done before,
Yeah,
It's
but
been
it's not good enough to win a championship.
It's been done before.
I think Missouri feels like it can compete to win a championship if it has the right pieces.
I mean, I'm a defensive guy, but in basketball, it has been done before, where teams have been able to just rank.
Not recently. Not in terms of winning a championship. I mean, you can make a deep run and get fizzled out in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, but if that's their goal, then they're doing fine.
We'll have to see. Anyways, Ron, thanks for joining us. And
I hate Missouri and I hate Dennis Gates.
Anti-Gates.
No defense. You got to rebound the ball. Come on.
It's like, I hate Gates. I hate White. I hate all the coaches in this game.
Yep. I don't know which one I don't like more.
All right.
I just think Mike White is just lousy, but all right. We'll talk about that at a different time.
It's not his fault. It was the culture. Anyways, thanks, Ron, for joining us. It's Ron Romanelli. We're going to bring in Jay Briggs next. Jay, welcome to the show. Same house as Chris Ruffolo there.
Yeah, I had to go get him, man. He was late. I had to show up and go get him.
I see him in the green room.
Yeah, I went and got him, man. I had to go wake him up, man. But he's up now, though. He's ready to go.
I think he went to go change his pants. But anyways, Jay, you've been doing the afternoon rundown now. Wayne said he's going to be joining you today on that afternoon rundown. That's going to be a good show. I watched yesterday with Ninos and, of course, your initial show. So I've been watching the afternoon rundown. And I think, we're getting to the point where I think the content is there. And I think, we've set the foundation, at least for maybe the playoff rundown or whatever rundown, where we'll be able to really bring the graphics in and kind of show who is playing, who's not playing, all these kind of things on the screen, and what kind of impact how the team does with and without these guys, and kind of that sort of information that we can do later on in the day that you can't do on the regular jam session.
For sure. Yeah, that's really the main reason for the show. Just to give updates on, information that changes, because the NBA is one sport that it will change on you in a hurry. So, it's good to come get some late information on that show. And then, it's only going to get bigger and better as everything does here at Big Dogs.
Yeah, I was on the wrong side of it yesterday. I had the Heat, so I certainly know that.
And I fade them damn near every opportunity I get. So,
well, we'll get you in the playoffs. But anyways, what do you got cooking for today?
Yes, sir. Let's go big game hunting, man. I didn't lock this in premium, but I do lean Celtics in this game with the 76ers. It's going to be a hell of a game, man. I think the line's right where it should be. I could argue both sides, but we've seen the Celtics win both games, both meetings already this season. They were both in Boston, but they did win the first two. 106-99 was the first one. 126-117 was the first one. So we're in Milwaukee. We're in Philadelphia in this one. Philadelphia's won 5 straight. We got Boston coming in, winning 4 of their last 5. They narrowly escaped against Indiana in their last one. But I've said all season, I think Boston is the best team in basketball. And I think these are the spots where they like to flex their muscles. I think they show up today in Philadelphia. It's a really good one, man. Philadelphia is the best home ATS team in the league. Boston's the best road team straight up on the road. So, it's a lot of different. One of the trends got to break today. I think Philadelphia's breaks. I think Boston is just the better team. They made the finals last year. I think they're poised to get back. I think they beat the Sixers in Philly today.
Well, they played in Boston earlier this month. It was the Celtics getting the win in that one. I think the Sixers get the revenge here. It's like I just like the way they're playing. I think this is a tough game. The next 2 days, we've got some big games like this.
We
We
do.
went through the card with Jovan earlier, and for tomorrow, and I mean, it's just a monster. It starts early. Bucks Suns at 1:00 Eastern. It goes all the way. Nuggets Clippers, at 10:00 Eastern. So it's like in a lot of
Mavs
games.
and Lakers tomorrow. Interesting game. So it's gonna be a good card tomorrow. I can't wait.
A lot of good games, and this is another one. I mean, this one could go either way. We saw the Sixers come out so flat against the Grizzlies and still managed to get the win after giving up all those threes early. I mean, they were just getting stomped, and were able to do it. And I don't know,
the Grizzlies on the money line now, and that one hurt.
Joel Embiid. I mean, I know he's a good player and stuff, but he must be a tough guy, because when it came down to the pushing and shoving at the end of that game, and all of a sudden he got mad, no one wanted to be anywhere near him, man, because they were scared, of him. So I think that had something to do with Memphis choking those threes to try and get the backdoor cover at the end.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch, man. Grizzlies, they were up like 17 early in that game, but that shows the resiliency of the Sixers team. We can't count them out. Embiid, back-to-back runner-up for the MVP, man. Jokic looks like he's going to win it again this year, but Embiid, man, if you go look at his numbers, what he's doing is historic, man. And he's definitely that guy, man. But today, I don't know, man. They're placing, like I said, the best team in basketball. I think I got to roll with the Celtics in this one.
Yeah, James Harden quietly 6 of 9 from beyond the arc in that game as well, and Harris also with the big free throws down the stretch after the pushing and shoving, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc and 6 of 6 from the line. So this Embiid was taking threes in that game, and they didn't hit any of them. And I think that put him kind of in the hole. They were leaving him wide open. This is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a good one. You got anything else for us?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of lean the Magic. That didn't make the premium area. Got close. The Magic typically play their best basketball on their home floor. Indiana has lost 4 of their last 5. They've covered in 2 straight. They did cover against Boston. They did beat Chicago straight up, but I lean Orlando in that one. Orlando, I kind of like this team. I've liked them all year. I think they could mess around, make the play-in or the playoffs, to be honest, if they play their cards right. They won their last one in Orlando, 126-120. I think this game probably is similar to that last one. I think Indiana, we like to bet them when they're in Indiana on the road. I don't really want to touch them. I like Orlando in that one.
All right. What do you got for sale at Pick Dogs today?
Yes, sir. I got 7 plays total, 4 college hoops, 3 in the NBA. I have my $15 NBA jam session bet up there. I have a plus money dog in the NBA. You can get both of those in the 3-pack that's for sale. And I got my college hoops best bet with 2 other plays in the 3-pack as well. So 7 plays for me today on this Saturday. Ready to smash it per usual. So that's what I got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium.
All right, Jay. Well, we'll see you later on this afternoon with Wayne on the afternoon jam session. I'll be watching.
For sure, yeah. 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. What time? We're gonna miss that Raptors game, but that's the only one on the card we're gonna.
Do you have a premium on the Raptors game?
I don't. I lean Raptors. I lean Raptors.
I never. I see. The Raptors are my heat for you. I always
and I'm the same way. I am the exact same way. I almost never bet the Raptors, but they've won 4 of their last 5, and when you go look at it, they've beaten up on the bad teams. So
I don't know that Pelicans game. I got it at 5.5, 6. I know it closed at 4.5, but I got it 5.5.
Yeah,
6,
I was with you. I had Pelicans plus 6. So
yeah,
in that one. So it's kind of but
that
they beat up on the bad teams.
It just goes to show you got to shop the lines.
You got to
have multiple books, because that game, and there's been a few of them already in the NBA where it's come right down on the number. So be sure to shop those books. All right, Jay, we'll see you later on this afternoon and tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Bring in Chris Ruffolo. Chris, what's happening?
Not much. Just another day in paradise. Loving the card today. And another snowy, cold day up here in Canada as well. I'll tell you, it's been a crazy morning.
All right. Well, hopefully it's not that crazy of an afternoon, because we've got a killer card here across the board. NHL, we've got NBA and college hoops. What are you going to bring us first?
For my play today, I only got the one, but I really, really like Purdue in this spot against Indiana. You know, you and I joke on the morning show just about how bad the Indiana Hoosiers and how unreliable they can be on the road. And, you know, home court in Big Ten conference play has, you know, been the trend, you know, going back at least a couple of years now, especially this season. Big Ten home teams are hitting over 64% against the spread this season. And I just don't think that Indiana's going to have any answers for Purdue. I think Purdue's just a better team across the board, pretty much in every facet of the game. Indiana, you look at their road games, you know, they lost by 15 at Michigan State. They lost by 2 at Northwestern, got a win at Michigan, but also lost by double digits at Maryland. Just a lot of inconsistent play for Indiana on the road. And Purdue, they're beating up teams left and right by double digits at home, and I think this game is no different. I got Purdue by at least 9.5, 10 points, so I'm going to take Purdue laying the points here.
Yeah, everyone knows I bash the Indiana on the road. I mean, if you ever seen the YouTube comments, it's normally me just absolutely crushing the Hoosiers and their road performance. But I'm with you here. I like Purdue as well. I think they smash them. I did the video on this game. I took Purdue, and I think there's also a revenge factor here because Indiana won the first meeting.
Yeah, add fuel to the fire that already is this rivalry. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Purdue wins this one, runs away and hides, and so I wouldn't be surprised if you take an extended line on this one. Probably push it a little bit further than the 7.5 or 8.5 that you're getting right now.
All right. Well, that's your only pick for today?
Yes, sir. That's my only one for today.
All right. Well, what else you got?
Pick Dogs Premium today. I got a couple 3-packs on the board throughout the day for college basketball. Got my $15 NHL Power Play and a couple standalone plays, one from College Hoops for the late night action, and then an NBA best bet as well. But best value is going long term. Get everything today, and I think a 3-day or even a 7-day pass is cheaper than all the packages I have today if you buy them individually. So check that out.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Thanks, Chris, for coming in. Be sure to watch Jay's afternoon jam session later on today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Got picks, of course, our YouTube picks. We got picks over at TikTok. I got Instagram. We're all doing shorts. Yeah, more than ever going on to Pick Dogs, and we got more than ever coming your way in the near future as well. So make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.